You are the only hope we have. You're special. Okay, you obviously don't know me.
We've been counting down the top Black video game characters of all time, one for each day in Black History Month. Follow or subscribe to make sure you get a new character each day as they come out. Ranking in at number 4, Frey Holland from Forspoken, the Solace. Frey is probably the most overhated character I've ever seen in a video game, but it doesn't surprise me. Frey is more of a character in a story than a blank slate for you to step into. Also, Frey is fun to control. Probably the most fun of all the characters on this list. Seriously, this is her biggest strength. Her parkour and magic feels fluid and fast, and it lets you travel Athia's needlessly large map with ease. She's got attitude, a lot of character, she's confident, and they made her a leading woman without over-sexualizing her. I know isekai is a relatively common trope in JRPGs, but not with a character quite like this. Frey and Forspoken is kind of not for everybody. The most common complaint I see about Frey is that she's unlikable and selfish. Yes, that's the point. The game sets it up from the beginning that she's a thief. Newsflash, thieves are unlikable and selfish, especially when self-preservation has been their primary concern their entire life. It actually wouldn't make sense if she were altruistic. I don't know about y'all, but I've never met a jailbird thief who isn't selfish and unlikable. Shit, we wouldn't even let them in our house if we knew they stole shit. Family included, especially family. See, I know Frey. I'm related to Frey. Shit, I've been Frey. So when she's snatched into an apocalyptic world with the people she doesn't know and things actively trying to kill her every 5 minutes, it also makes sense that she'd want to go home, even if there's really nothing to go back to. I'll be making a full character analysis on her in the future over on the Red app, but suffice it to say, she's actually a lot better than people give her credit for. Aside from some cringe, I enjoyed her quite a bit as a character. She has a full score in screen time, she has an amazing character design, she actually does have good development, and her representation for Black folks is actually not bad. Sure, she does have some stereotypes of, being a career felon. Throughout her entire playthrough, she actually only kills 2 sentient people. And even then, she still felt guilty in doing it, like most people would. Frey's a good character in a kind of messy game. The Dread, as much as I am a fan of Frey and Ella Balinska, she's certainly not perfect. The writing team left some serious cringe behind in that game. The problem is the bulk of the cringe is right at the beginning when they're establishing the character for the player, which makes it a lot harder to connect with her. Also, like I said, the girl loses a little bit of points and representation since they decided to write her as a felon. The girl goes to court no less than 3 times during the game in 2 different worlds. Lastly, due to the design of the game, all of the character interaction is isolated to town, and there's only a few characters for her to bounce off of, and only one of them she likes. So it just feels like a lot of negativity is pouring out of her. This is an assessment of the character, not necessarily the game that she is in, but the game does play a factor. Like it or not, she's actually one of the best Black video game characters of all time. We need more Black characters that are stripped of the usual stereotypes and are thrown into the front of AAA titles like this. But maybe let's do it with a better writing team. Some might say that some of the cringe dialogue is about on par with bad superhero movies, and they would be right. But the way my wife put it to me when we were level setting on this character is that writing in games must be better than writing in movies because it's a far more immersive experience, which leaves you to step into the character's shoes a lot more. It's really hard to disagree with that.